we do these weekly surveys where we're looking for stranded sea turtles, stranded marine mammals. We're counting endangered species birds. And then every once in a while, we come across messages in a bottle. And, these messages in a bottle can come from anywhere in the world, really. But they all, some of them have money in them. Some of them actually have jewelry in them that we find. But almost all of them have an address. And so we're able to write the people back. And sometimes we've gotten responses back from the people that have actually thrown them in the ocean.
Let's hope it doesn't break. Hopefully this is the note that all those other notes are saying, look inside.
Over the last 5 years, I've probably found about 20 of these messages in a bottle. And some of them, some of them just say help on them. And you think, okay, well, that's not real helpful to anybody. So I think that was more of a joke. But a lot of them actually come with money in them. And so the money is supposed to pay for postage for mailing, an actual letter back. And so there's actually an etiquette for messages in a bottle. So this is one that we found a few weeks ago. It was from a 12-year-old girl out of Miami, and she actually put jewelry inside of it. And so we were able to take pictures of it. They had their phone number in there, and so I was able to text them a photo of it and let them know that, hey, I found your bottle, which they had thrown in over a year ago.
On our way back to our port in Miami, Florida. What? If you would find this, call my dad, Lewis.
When we tend to find the majority of these is right after a storm surge from like a hurricane. The waves are real big. It's, there's stuff floating around in the ocean and the currents, and then it gets pushed back up on our beaches. And so we can find multiple in a month during hurricane season. Once I, take out the message in a bottle, I write the people back. I do, roll that message back up. If there was money with it, I put the money back in there and I put it back in the bottle. And I have all of them on my shelf here in my office. And so they're just as I found them, so that I can tell stories to people about, what was in them and who the person was that I contacted. One of these messages in a bottle that was real interesting was there was a guy that was doing ocean current study. And so the way he was doing this study was he was writing a note that had a number on it with his email, and he would put it in the bottle, throw it in the ocean, and then you were supposed to contact him, and he would let you know where he put it in and when. And so he, there was a number on there of 2,755. And he said, I threw it in Florida, and it was about 6 months prior. And he wanted me to write my own letter of where I put it in and a date and throw it back in the ocean, but it was a plastic bottle.
I told him he's crazy. There's no way that I'm going to be throwing a plastic bottle back out into the ocean.
The interesting thing about the study that he was doing was that he literally threw thousands of these bottles into the ocean. And so we always advocate to people, do not throw plastic into the ocean. So if you're absolutely going to, you want to throw a message in a bottle and make sure it's in a glass bottle, or don't throw anything in the ocean at all. Last year, we found one on the beach, and it was from an 11-year-old girl that was traveling by boat around the world with her family, and they threw a whiskey bottle that was empty and had a message in it whenever they went across the equator and they were right off the coast of Brazil. And so we found it actually over a year later. And, I found it early in the morning before anyone gets on the beach, because that's when you have to find these things. I ended up thinking, well, why don't I create a video with this thing? And so I ended up making a video of taking it out and reading it, and it was all in French. And so I had to get somebody to translate it and everything. And so once I got that, I ended up writing the people back, and I had made a video of it. And so I told them the YouTube channel to go to, and they ended up writing me back about a month later. And so now we have this relationship where we're writing each other back and forth. And so they live in France now, and luckily they write in English so I can understand it.